Hi everyone, this is Kevin here, and in this video we're going to be going over 5 pros and 5 cons of the Samsung Galaxy A20. Now before we get started, I do want to let you know that there is actually a new US unlocked variant of the Galaxy A20 that has official support for all 4 major US carriers. The only downside with that phone is that it is $249, which is pretty expensive. So if you do want to save some money and you are using a GSM carrier, then you might want to go with the international version of the phone or get in touch with your carrier to see if they have any upgrade deals for the Galaxy A20. But if you do want to buy either of those 2 versions of the Galaxy A20 on Amazon, then definitely take a look at the links in the video description. It's definitely possible that they've changed the pricing too since I made this video, so definitely take a look at that to see the most up-to-date pricing. Now the first pro of the Galaxy A20 is that it features USB-C on the bottom for charging and data transfer. I can't believe that in 2019 this is still something to be impressed by, but it is amazing that we still have a lot of budget phones coming out that feature micro USB on the bottom. Now there's a variety of benefits with USB-C, but essentially that's the future. That's the way things are heading. It's great because it's reversible, and the price of USB-C cables are going down quite a bit, so they're really not any more expensive. So I am really happy that this phone does have USB-C for charging and data transfer. The second pro of the Galaxy A20 is that it features a great looking AMOLED display. Now AMOLED technology is definitely superior to LCD and TFT. It is fairly uncommon to find an AMOLED display with a budget phone in this price range, and this display really does have great looking colors. They really do truly pop, and this display is great for browsing the web, going on social media, and viewing video content. So I'm a big fan of having AMOLED technology on the Galaxy A20. The third pro is that this device features a wide-angle camera. So as you can see on the back of the phone, we have a dual camera setup with a 13 megapixel main camera and a 5 megapixel wide-angle camera. Now that wide-angle camera will also give you portrait mode, but it is unique to see that we do get a wide-angle camera with a budget device like this one. It's definitely a feature that we're seeing more and more with flagship phones, especially with the new iPhone 11, but as far as budget phones go, there really aren't that many of them that feature a wide-angle camera. But let me give you a demonstration of the advantage of having a wide-angle camera. So you can see this is with the standard camera. Now I'm going to switch over to the wide-angle camera, and you can see how much more content fits into the frame here. So this is really great if you're taking a picture of a group. Maybe you want to take a picture of an inside of a building, maybe you're a realtor or something like that, and you really do want to fit a lot of content into the frame. That's useful. Or maybe you're going on a trip and you want to take pictures of buildings or any other surroundings. Well, having that wide-angle camera will definitely give you a new perspective and really does complement the regular camera quite a bit. So having a wide-angle camera certainly is not a gimmick. In fact, of all the innovations we've gotten over the last few years with smartphones, I think this is one of the most appealing and practical innovations. The fourth pro is that this device features a small teardrop notch on the top. So some people I know are definitely not crazy about having a notch at all on their device, but you really cannot argue against the benefits of having a teardrop notch versus a larger one like we've seen with the iPhone 11, for example. This little teardrop notch here really doesn't get in the way. You're able to see all of your different notification icons as well as your system status icons. So Samsung did a great job really designing a nice, discreet, small notch for the Galaxy A20. And finally, the third pro of the Galaxy A20 is that we have a headphone jack on the bottom. There are still a lot of people nowadays that continue to use headphones with a 3.5mm jack, and due to that, having this on the bottom of the phone is certainly very helpful to have. Now that I've gone over my top 5 pros of the Galaxy A20, let's talk about the top 5 cons of the phone. Now I want to point out here that some of these are really nitpicking, and especially for a phone in this price range, I am very happy with all the features that we get. But of course, there's still room for improvements, and maybe for the sequel to this phone that we probably will get sometime next year, I'd like to see some of these implemented. The first change that I wish this phone had was an upgrade from 720p, which we have right here, to 1080p. So we do have a 720p display with the Galaxy A20. Of course, I really like that it is AMOLED, But there's no doubt that with a 6.4-inch display, having 720p does give you a little bit of pixelation when you look really close. So it still is a pretty sharp looking display, but certainly doesn't have the highest PPI out there. So if the device featured an AMOLED 1080p display, I really feel like it would be a dramatic improvement over what we have right now. The second con of this device is that it features a plastic build. Now that's certainly understandable for a phone in this price range. However, there are other phones that are kind of the same price, such as the LG Stylo 5, that feature a metal band running around the side of the phone. Now on this device, we have a plastic band running around it, so it would have been nice to see a metal band on the device. Still, regardless of that, this is a very solid phone and does feel good in the hand. I do kind of wish though that we had just slightly better, more expensive and premium materials, at least with that side band. My third issue with the Galaxy A20 is that I feel like the fingerprint sensor is just a little bit too high. Now I have decently large hands, but even despite that, the fingerprint sensor isn't quite where I think it should be. I feel like it should be a little bit lower, maybe where the Samsung logo is, so that I don't have to reach up a little bit to reach it. But you can see that it is fairly reachable, but I do just wish it was a little bit lower. It could have had a little bit better placement. The fourth con with the Galaxy A20 is no wireless charging. Now, this is another feature that we really typically only see with flagship devices, but there are other budget phones such as the Blue G9 Pro and Bold N1 that do feature wireless charging. So I certainly wish that the Galaxy A20 did have that, because that is a feature that I do like using quite a bit with phones that have that compatibility. And I already alluded to this, but my final issue with the Galaxy A20 is the very expensive US unlocked version of the phone. Now the US unlocked version of the device is selling for $249. I think $199 would have been a better price, especially when the international version of the Galaxy A20 is currently being offered on Amazon for around $160. It's really hard to be motivated to spend almost $100 extra on the same exact phone just to get some extra bands for extra US compatibility. So I think it would have been better to have a cheaper price tag on the US unlocked version of the device. I am still glad that they are offering it though in the US, but it does just seem a bit too expensive. So those are my 5 pros and 5 cons of the Samsung Galaxy A20. Definitely let me know what you think and if you agree or disagree. In addition to that, if you have other pros and cons that you think I missed out on, definitely let me know in the comment section below. I'm really curious to know what you think. And also, again, if you want to buy this phone, take a look at the link in the video description. But thank you for watching. This is Kevin here. This is the Samsung Galaxy A20, and I will see you in the next video.